Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old, to history, to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. The whim of the day, Punchline. Sometimes on this channel we're reading things as they happen. Almost never, but sometimes. The 2020 Batman event, Joker War, and the lead up to it have seen the introduction of a new villain, Punchline, a new sidekick for the Joker, and I've been following her. Why? I don't know, sometimes this just happens to me, like when I got really into Plastic Man for a bit. Characters and these things happen. The Joker War is an event that just began at the time of this recording, and it sees the Joker trying, and succeeding at this point in time at least, to dismantle Bruce Wayne and Batman's life. He's doing this using his knowledge that Batman is Bruce Wayne. There are many schools of thought about whether or not the Joker should or should not know this, and there are compelling arguments to be made for both. The plot of the Joker War has many outlets likening it to The Dark Knight Rises. This is because of the stealing Bruce Wayne's wealth element. It's meant to elicit some kind of response, but the only one it elicits in me is the urge to do my terrible Tom Hardy Bane impression.
Oh, so we're attacking Batman because he's rich. It will be very painful. I was born in the dark. I didn't read a full event until I was already a man.
So the Joker is draining Batman's wealth, turning his tech against him, and kidnapping/brainwashing his family, or just injuring them. A lot is happening. It's one of those where will the dust settle events, maybe with an arc of average income Bruce Wayne. A big theory for Punchline is that she will end up killing the Joker, because what comes at the end of the joke? A punchline. If either of those things happen, they will probably not be permanent. But instead, a shake things up initiative. Buy me, please, it's exciting. Though the Joker has been everywhere lately, he could probably use a break. He needs to be on that beach, not Batman. Batman, Catwoman, beach vacation. There was a decade without him, and Batman comics were fine. Batman has so many villains lining up to take him down. His dance card is very full. Does anybody miss how he handled his wealth during the Tim Drake Robin arc? It was very nuanced and interesting. But the thing is, I can't think about Batman and the word rich without thinking about that Joss Whedon joke from the Justice League. What's your superpower? I'm rich. My soul is dying. So Punchline has been playing a pretty big role in this event. She's taken out Harley, she's teamed up with a Joker brainwashed Dick Grayson, she's gotten her origin outlined kinda in the Joker 80th anniversary special, and now she's gonna end up fighting Batman. We're continuing to see how she's evolving and changing as she cements herself as a character. I mean, if she ends up sticking around, only time will tell. But we are along for the ride. So far, unless we get off. You never know how things are gonna go here. But before we get started, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us on this crazy comic book journey. This is gonna be Punchline focused, heads up, rather than a pure Joker War issue 95 recap, just so you know. But don't worry, I'm sure there are plenty of those out there. Hey, Pats. Like what I've done with the place? Why, yes, I do. Very Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. In fact, when we covered the Nightwing issue, some people felt that that whole comic was reminding them of that movie, in which the Joker kidnapped Tim Drake and brainwashed him into being a little mini Joker. It was pretty horrifying. And then there was the reveal later, and you know what? Watch it if you haven't. It's great. We open on a flashback of Alfred helping Bruce deal with an early encounter with the Joker, potentially the first. Bruce is waxing poetic about how he feels that him and the Joker are going to encounter each other multiple times, that there's something different about his motivations. Smash cut to the present. Story by James Tinian. Art by Jorge Jimenez. The news is covering leaks surrounding a string of Wayne Enterprise embezzlements linked to the Batman. His board is demanding that Batman return his illegally gotten tech. They've seized Wayne Manor for the assets, the bank. That is. And at Wayne Enterprises itself, Punchline is there hacking into the mainframe and torturing Lucius Fox for information. The years have been kind to Lucius. He's aging backwards. Tell me what he called this place, Mr. Fox. Joker always loved his little names for everything. He says Batman pretends it's the kids who named them, but he knows better than that. Tell me what he calls it. The Hibernaculum. Ah, where bats breed? That's disgusting. He's been breeding all sorts of little bats, hasn't he? He's given my boss the perfect present, and he doesn't even realize it. Joker, meanwhile, is chilling down on Park Row, aka Crime Alley. He's bought the theater that Bruce's parents took him to on the night when they decided to take that ill-fated turn down a dark alley. He's also got a copy of The Mark of Zorro to play for some captive Jokerized Gothamites. He's going very hard. He's trying very hard. It's understandable why Punchline tries so hard when he's trying so hard. So he's got to try and out-try him. Out-try hard him. He's gone full yandere. Batman, meanwhile, is trying to regain some access to his resources. And he's already gone through a couple of battles at this point. So like he fought Deathstroke, got injured. He's not doing great. We do get this cool panel of him climbing the building with some sweet electromagnetic tech. Sparkle, sparkle.
Computer, give me eyes in the building. I want Joker.
He's not here right now. Oh, sorry. Was this supposed to be a secret hideout? And so Punchline ambushes him, getting one really good hit in. I'm torn. On the one hand, it is nice to see a Batman who can be surprised. Not one who has plans upon plans upon plans for 80 years after his death. If Ozymandias did it 35 minutes ago, with some authors, Batman did it before he was even conceived. There's prepared, and then there's the time they elevated him to meta status. However, he has been Mr. Contingency for decades at this point, and it's only increased in level as it's gone on. So it does feel a bit odd to see him be taken aback. Though again, it adds stakes. I like stakes. Medium well, please. Your friend, Mr. Fox, outlined the 6 micro caves you snuck into the building. He took the time to make them caves? Gotta stay on brand. This one was my favorite. Wanna know why? This is the one you hadn't earned yet. It's the one you were going to unlock when you and Mr. Lucius and Mr. Wayne had finished building your new Gotham City. It's so hopeful, isn't it? Love the color and the cape and cowl. It's not a dark night at all. Inside this cave is a bat suit that looks like Bruce has spent one too many nights up late watching Tron Legacy. But he doesn't recognize it, and Lucius thought that he designed it, which is why he made it, but Bruce didn't. Bruce is confused. But you don't get your beautiful city of the future. You don't get your new toys, and you don't get your cool new duds. Duds? Okay, boomer. Why not call them threads? Just ask for slang help. We've got duds over here. We've got Konami references over in Nightwing. Pick an era. We took it all, and now we're gonna kill you for it.
I don't understand.
Oh wait, I know what it is. Easy to slip my mind since I've spent the last year building up my immunities. I filled your little cave with poison. It's my own blend. Some of the boss's stuff, tweaked with a bit of fear toxin, and a little bit of venom, so it doesn't kill you. Makes the withdrawal a hell of a thing though. And so disoriented and injured, Batman tries to flee as he can't be entirely certain what is hallucination and what is actually happening. End part 1. So the Dark Knight Rises comparisons I get, but there's also a more obvious comic-based comparison one can make as well. And that is to Nightfall, the arc that all culminates in Bane breaking Batman's back, the arc that Dark Knight Rises is partially based off of. Partially. So many liberties taken. When Bane found out Batman's identity in the 90s, which he learned without ever setting foot in Gotham, he launched a psychological as well as physical attack. He broke all of his rogues out at the same time, forcing Batman to have to deal with them simultaneously. It completely wore him down and broke him. At this point too, he was pretty separated from his allies, just like here, so he didn't have people to call upon to help. All of this culminated with Bane showing up in his home, in his own personal domain, to reveal that he knew who he was and everything about him, and at that point they have their fight and Bane breaks his back. Now there are some who feel that this is cowardly, he didn't give him a fair chance, but then on the other hand, it could be argued that he used all of his resources against him, and that's what you do when you're trying to utterly destroy and break somebody. Mileage varies. This Joker war has a similar vibe. The Joker is teamed up with people, is wearing Batman down. There is the added element of him taking his stuff, his money, his memories, just with no personal space, none, no boundaries. It's bordering on that stuff that happened on Earth -32, the one where the Batman Who Laughs is from. It's just a complete disassembling of Bruce's life. Mileage is going to vary on how much this works for you, or if you find it pleasant to read at all. If it's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat, if you're gonna have a bit more of a, okay, I've kind of seen this before, or how is this going to end, and then that will determine how I feel about it. Or just that this is awesome! You have so many choices. It's a lot of a lot. On the Punchline side, this is one of her stronger appearances. She has reason for her knowledge, both of the caves and also of her ability to assemble this kind of toxin. I also like the idea of her training herself to withstand these poisons, and it raises the question of how much has that affected her. Although some still feel that she shouldn't have been able to sneak up a hit on Batman. But he was injured. Never forget. Never forget. What a thing to never forget. Never forget Batman was injured in this one issue of Batman. I like to imagine Punchline sitting there just inhaling fear talks and going, fear is the mind killer. My god, a Dune reference that wasn't about the spice. Today is a good day. Also, oh boy, are those tie-ins way different tonally. Event life. Sometimes things happen behind the scenes and readers don't learn about it till years later, if they ever do. Sometimes it's complex and sometimes it's just people can't coordinate. So here we are, Joker War and Punchline. Is the war for you? Is Punchline for you? Well, let me know down below. If you've been following all our Punchline vids, has she grown on you? Grown off you? I appreciate all the comments you leave, and while you're leaving them, please also do all of the other YouTube things. Like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to discuss comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.